Video game preservation efforts just got some bad news from U.S. Copyright Office. A 3-year battle to allow libraries to share digital video games in their collections has been ended by the U.S. Copyright Office. 3 years ago, the Software Preservation Network and the Video Game History Foundation put forth a petition to the U.S. Copyright Office to allow libraries to share the out-of-print video games in their possession with researchers remotely. However, that request has now been denied, and it means the battle to keep out-of-print games alive has come to an end. The Copyright Office, with the Entertainment Software Association and other video game lobbyists, argument that letting libraries share digital access to their titles would lead to a significant risk that preserved video games would be used for recreational purposes. Essentially, the argument is that researchers enjoying the remote games would constitute copyright infringement. The Video Game History Foundation released a statement decrying this decision while pointing out that it helped prove that around 87% of video games released in the United States before 2010 remain out of print. Video Game History Foundation founder and director Frank Cifaldi also shared his own statement saying, "I'm proud of the work we and the orgs we partnered with did to try and change copyright law. We really gave it our all. I can't see what else we could have done. This fails the need of citizens in favor of a weak sauce argument from the industry, and it's really disappointing." The Copyright Office's decision also stated that giving libraries the asked for exemption would potentially harm video game companies' attempts to repackage and sell their older legacy titles to modern consumers. Of course, you don't get to play Resident Evil. We'll put it in a collection and you can pay us $60 for it.
Mhm.
But as noted by the VGIFI, even companies like Nintendo have let many older titles fall out of print or remain unavailable to consumers as downloadable titles. It's unclear if video game preservationists can take any steps to challenge this decision. Meanwhile, the ESA already announced earlier this year that it opposes any compromise about sharing out of print games remotely among researchers. So let's get comments. Jay House goes, "Oh well, we'll have to do it illegally. No big deal." Girl, you so crazy says in response, "It's legal in other countries. We could just do this somewhere else. It doesn't have to be here." And girl, you so crazy also says, "It's still possible this could continue in another country." Um, so I mean, we kind of talked about this, but this is something a little different because this was about out of print titles that gamers are not making money off, that developers are not making money off of. Um, but what do you think of the decision that was handed down?
Can you clarify again what happened again? I'm sorry, I'm missing my notes right now on my computer. So,
Okay.
uh,
The argument was that about 87% of games from 2010 or before are unplayable because of supply.
okay,
Because there's no digital copy, and they wanted libraries to be able to have these games digitally out of print. These out of print, not being sold anywhere, digital games remain. They wanted libraries to have be able to have a record of those games. Meaning, if you wanted to say, let's take Monster Party on Nintendo. If you never played Monster Party and you got curious, you could go to the library and play a digital version of Monster Party for Nintendo, and
nice.
and other games that were not being there's no way. But basically, U.S. Copyright Office said no, we're not allowing that.
Unless it's like 100 years old later, then the copyright office, but yeah, we'll do it for you. We'll give you a copy of it, but it's going to be emulated form though. Because by that time, 100 years from now, the year was 21, 24. When Nintendo could be like either out of business or been changed or merged or whatever, that's when they'll probably the copyright office will, yeah, we can let you do like the way we do Mickey Mouse. Because because Mickey Mouse now, what's called Disney and all, like, that's been 100 years since the Mickey Mouse character been around. If not over 100 years now, and
Well, that's because Disney couldn't afford the copyright because Disney was hemorrhaging money because You go woke, you get broke.
Yeah, and now we can do like these projects, movie projects, or whatever, on the side, whoever these people are, to innovate with the Mickey Mouse character in any shape, size, or form they want to. Like for example, the Wizard of Oz. Now that you can do is what you want to do with the as a regular person and put it as a movie form of all sorts of forms. I will admit this though. I know I'm a little off topic here. I've always wanted to do like a martial arts version of Dorothy versus the Wicked Witch of the West. Call it 3W. So now you know my secrets in a sense. So if anyone's out there, give me the credit in the movie screen. I'll let you do it. Well, on a serious note though, it's all about the game preservation again in a similar form. So it sucks. These companies are too selfish. They're thinking about money first, and that's the end goal of it all, is to make money. If they're not making no money from it, then why should the other person get credit for it or the acquisition of it? Because even if it's for nonprofit, it sucks.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, one of the arguments was basically the problem. Oh, you want to play the original Resident Evil? You can play Resident Evil again. You just got to buy our collection of Resident Evil games that will have the original on it.
Yeah, it's like the Yakuza games. I just saw on Xbox Store now. If you want to get if you don't have Game Pass but want to pay out of pocket for the digital copy, single $110 plus tax here in the United States. But if you get Game Pass and play within, let's say, a month or so, it's like $20 right there. Therefore, all the 6 or 7 Yakuza games, that's a bundle. So it's a catch 22.
And not to mention, I think Resident Evil Revelations. I think only one of those games is available in the Revelations collection.
Yeah, this version I have, it's only available for like 1 or 2 episodes, and the rest you gotta pay for it online. Fucking ridiculous.
So I mean, it's just yeah. So I mean, it's basically the company's winning, but like they said, this is what the United States figured. Just because it didn't happen here doesn't mean it can't start in another country and work its way over here eventually. So
Oh yeah, like with that thing we talked about with the European gamer that they want to quit that movement to preserve games via the European Union, because the European Union has that kind of power over the copyright laws over in that region. So
yeah, so I mean, unfortunately, I think the wrong decision was made because they said this was for non-monetary purposes. This was just so people could play games that they never played before, that aren't being sold. So the developers aren't losing any money. This is just games that are hard to find or at least have a record of. Even if it is a common game like Super Mario Brothers 2 on Nintendo, yeah, you can get Super Mario Brothers All Stars and play Super Mario 2. But if you want to play the original Super Mario 2 US version, with the original graphics, original everything, you know, let libraries hold it. But let libraries hold it digitally because no one's going to be sneaking out of out of the library with a computer and not look suspicious. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, unfortunately, um, video game preservation continues to struggle.